Okay, good morning, friends. And yeah, I am here in one of my mini studios, many, mini studios. This one hopefully is the one that won't be disturbing to others that I live with. I decided that I would just go ahead and make this video, even though it's not that I'm hiding my hair, although I might possibly be hiding my hair. No, it's not quite as bad as I kind of was imagining it, but I was actually keeping myself warm and trying to look like a very dasher actor or actress in movie Life of Brian, where there was a scene where the people who had been chosen to be stoned, a different type of stone back in that day where they actually threw stones at you. And just a point here is that Saint Stephen was supposedly the first martyr for Christ. And he was, when you're martyred, that means somebody kills you. And they kill you while you're standing up to them, going like, go ahead, throw another rock. Thunk. One more. Yeah, give me all you got. Thunk, thunk, thunk. Yeah, till eventually that last one hits you and whoops, you're no longer able to say, I'm not dead yet. Well, if you're watching this, you're not dead yet. And matter of possible fact, you never die. You just lose your vehicle. Your vehicle just stops running, and you've got no way to get around on the planet, which is this. This is your way of getting around on the planet. Without this, there's the possibility you can get around on the planet and just scare the bejesus out of somebody, because somebody's like, somebody's here, somebody's here. And it's you, because you just won't leave. Go back to your spirit guides and find out, take a look at your life and see the things you might have thought you did well, and the things you might have thought like you wish you hadn't done that. Well, we have 10 days to release the energies of I wish I hadn't done that. And so this is day 1. This is a white world bridger, and this is the first of 10 days of galactic activation portals where energies are just streaming into the earth, and you can be clearing things non-stop if you want to, just and upgrading your system to a more functional system that functions better in this higher vibrational world that's been going, increasing in vibration for the past almost 28 years. So, I woke up from the dream world today into this dream world. This may just be another dream world, and I just don't know. But the sleep dream world, where I actually go to bed, close my eyes, go to sleep, and then end up in oftentimes some other world. Usually for me it's night school, because I tend to keep myself too busy to listen in this world. But as I came out of the dream world today, I had particular uncomfortable energetics. And so I almost immediately, started doing my yogic breathing exercises. Did those for about 10 minutes, noticed the neurological system calming down. And then I went through and did my 45 minutes of yogic postures, stretching 73-year-old muscles, but they're only 7-year-old muscles because all the cells are changed up every 7 years. So, why do they feel like 73-year-old muscles? It's because the vibrations need to be changed up as well. It's not enough to just get new cells, but you need to let go so your vibrational field changes, and your vibrational field may hold a pattern of function and youth and all of those kind of things. And then you don't feel like you're doing yoga with a 73-year-old body that actually feels 73. You could be doing yoga with a body that might feel 17 or 37 if you're dyslexic and you're 37 at 73. And then next year you just gain a decade and you're 47, but sometimes 47 feels better than 74. And I'm going to know in 2 months how 74 feels or 47 feels, just depending on perspective. Okay. All of this is a lead-in into something very transformational that occurred this morning. And I'm sorry that I'm looking like this when I'm talking about something transformational occurring. But it did. And so I have been being taught that these emotions, especially during triggering, when a lot of emotions come out at once, that it's possible not to react to the emotions, but just feel them. And so I did my 10 minutes of breath work, 45 minutes of stretching different legs and arms and backs, and doing all these motions to let go of held energies. I laid back down after the yogic postures, and I just laid there in awareness of my body. And then I began to be aware of a particular area of tightness that was quite a large area. And, it didn't quite fill my entire sternum, but it filled like probably 2 handfuls of tightness right in the center of my chest. And then I heard either Arlen's voice or the memory of Arlen's voice, which I think it was, telling me these are simply vibrations. You don't have to react to them. They're just vibrations. So you can just stay in awareness while feeling these feelings that you might have felt in the past were uncomfortable feelings. And these ones that I was feeling, I might have termed very uncomfortable feelings. So I am working with these feelings right now because I had some experiences that were transformational, and those experiences were these. I laid there and felt some of the more uncomfortable feelings that I've felt in this lifetime, except possibly when they initially occurred. And I felt them, as terror or as pain or as anger or as grief or as fear or as all the above. Because sometimes the overwhelming events that occur to us cause us to feel all these feelings, and yet we kind of freeze our consciousness because we want to pretend that this isn't happening, whatever this is that is happening. We want to pretend it isn't happening, or we go unconscious, or we go, unconscious, or we just leave consciousness and go away while whatever is happening is happening. And I've been told that I can experience these, what I would have called before, terrible feelings, that I could feel them without judgment. And this morning I did. So I felt, you can feel this one feeling that I'm feeling right now. You can just touch it briefly and say, oh, it's his feeling. I'm touching his feeling. I'm aware of his feeling. So you and I can be aware of it together, and we can be aware of the tightness of it. We can be aware of the vibration of it. And we can agree that it's a feeling. That it's just a feeling. No matter how strong it is, no matter how powerful it is, no matter how it makes us want to run around or go and hide, it's still just a feeling. And as I laid there and allowed myself to have the awareness that it was just a feeling, it began to be just a feeling. And it began to not be a scary feeling, not be an angry feeling, not being a feeling of terror, not being an insurmountable feeling of grief. It was just a vibration that I could identify as, oh, that's a vibration of grief, or that's a vibration of anger, or that's a vibration of fear. And I'm feeling it. But I'm not feeling afraid, feeling this feeling. I'm feeling at peace, feeling this feeling. And at a certain point, I was just breathing, a feeling, and I felt this feeling just lift off of me. And I had the thought that seemed awfully easy. It wasn't easy getting to the place of being comfortable inside myself, feeling these feelings that I used to run away from. It took me a little bit, might be taking you a little bit, to then feel another feeling. So I'm feeling this feeling. And so better late than never is a term that I've heard in the past. You might have heard it as well. But we may want to say, I connect with my deep self and feel ourselves in the center of our being, with energy moving up and down, through our spinal cord, through our pranic tube, through our torus, whatever you want to call it. It's just the center of our being. And when we connect with our deep self, we're connecting to that center of our being. And when we're in that center of our being, then we can experience the body while we're in a place of peace. We could also add to it, I choose to connect to my higher self. And we can expand that feeling of peace and safety and protection. And we can feel that energy begin to move through our central core, out our crown chakra, out into the area of the higher self, back into the deep self, back into the area of the higher self. And we can ask that we be placed in a field of protection while we do this work, or while we have this fun, because to me, this having the experience of something I've been told about but had never quite got or embodied, to actually embody this experience and be able to tell you about it from an embodied state is thrilling to me. A kind of a peaceful thrilling, but just it's like I got this, and now I can give it to you. Now I can transmit it to you if you want it. I can't make you have it, but I can actually be in the experience of having it, and you can take it if you want it. And what you're taking is the experience, so you're having the experience because you're sharing the experience with me. Well, I'm having the experience. I mean, I just got up, 10 minutes ago off the bed from having experienced this new state for 20 minutes. This new state was having the awareness that these feelings that I was experiencing they were only terrible feelings because I was resisting them. But when I stopped resisting them and I felt them as vibrational frequencies, it was just like, oh, this is a vibrational frequency, so I'm going to do the one I'm doing right now. This is a vibrational frequency. And when we connect with our deep self and go into that place of peace, where we are at the core of ourself, at peace, in peace, experiencing peace, then this other frequency can just be a frequency, and we can either hold that frequency or we can let that frequency go. And if it reminds you of the story and the emotions, and separating the story and the emotions, and then releasing the emotions and releasing the story, it's just like that. Except you can do it without putting your arms to the side. So we're going to do one more, I think one more. We're going to do this one right here, and we're going to just feel this feeling. It's a feeling, and remind yourself, this is a feeling. to feel this feeling. And then we're going to keep our consciousness in our deep self. And feel this feeling and going like, oh, it feels uncomfortable to the body. You could say, oh, this feels like a disturbing feeling. And it's just a feeling. And this feeling may be increasing in its intensity, but I'm in the comfort of the deep self. And I can just feel this, and it begins to loosen. And then it releases. It may end up being that easy for you. Even though I have been studying this for lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, and I've now just had the experience of it, like, oh wow, that's what they were talking about. You may get it right away. You may get it right away, and you may just go, oh, I can just let these energies go. And you can. You can just let them dissipate because you were holding them. You maybe didn't know it. I didn't know that I was holding them, keeping them. These feelings, these uncomfortable feelings, I was keeping them safe is what I was thinking. But those uncomfortable feelings don't need to be safe. Those uncomfortable feelings can be let go of. We can begin living in this deep self of peace. And as more and more of these energies come out, we can live in this self of love. So deep self of peace, this heart self of love, this higher self of compassion and understanding. And we can do this all over the course of 10 days and just have this experience of our entire life transforming. And it may be that we'll do this, and I'm going to be doing something, I think, every day like this, to just encourage this letting go process, to actually be able to experience these formerly and even currently very intense feelings as feelings, and feel them, not trying to get rid of them, not trying to release them, not trying to do anything with them other than be in a deep place of peace and feel what you feel. And then if it releases, that's what it needed to do. It's kind of like it was a stick stuck in the bank of the river, and the river was just vibrating it and vibrating it and vibrating it, and finally freed it up, and the stick just went down the river. Okay, boy, if this is the start of this 10 days of clearing, I am all in. Have a lovely white world bridger day, and I'll probably be back at some point yammering. It's good to be with you. It's good to do this work with you, and hopefully I had the volume up high enough to hear it.